Hello everyone, Josh here with Anime Impact, bringing guys some more Duel Links, and today we got another Pick a Gift campaign until November 30th, 2018 at 9:59. So we are only getting, I believe, 200 gems, but for a lot of us, 200 gems will not be the exact number you will be receiving. Now, for day number one, I would say go ahead and definitely pick 50 gems. 50 gems is definitely more important than 20,000 gold or a crystal. Definitely go ahead and pick up the 50 gems, which we'll go ahead and do right at the end of this video. On day 2, what should you pick up? Now, day 2 is a little bit more tough because day 2 is going to definitely depend on if you already have 3 copies of Rocket Warrior or not. If you do, definitely go ahead and pick up your rare ticket. You can see the rare tickets here. We're going to go ahead and showcase some of the rare tickets that you could possibly choose from that I would recommend. I would not go ahead and grab anything from the card trader, so don't be grabbing Hazy Flame Finks, don't grab our Arrow Mage Bergamot, and do not grab Rosemary. Those cards are all really good, but you can pick them up in the card trader in the card catalog once every 8 hours until you get all the cards you need. So there's really no point wasting your rare ticket, and by the time you get this ticket, which would be sometime tomorrow, you could have already picked up 2 or 3 copies of these cards in the card traders. So really not an issue there. I would definitely recommend maybe picking up Oyster Meister. Oyster Meister is really a good card, especially with Hammer Shark if you want to run that type of deck. That deck was powerful once upon a time, and it may actually be re-emerging again now thanks to some of the nerfs to like Onslaught, which was really one of the problems. NC Stealth Attack really hasn't made a big comeback yet, so that was another weakness of the deck. So you can see that deck coming back soon, if not already back. So that's definitely a couple cards I would choose from. There's also Sanctuary in the Sky if you want to run a County Fairy deck. But, of course, Counter Fairies really aren't really that good yet. We need some more better fairies support in the game. But still, it's definitely an option. You know, cards like Psychokinesis are also good, but also, again, in the card trader. So I really wouldn't bother with those. And everything else I really just don't see of worth. So definitely pick that up. Now, if you're like me and you don't need none of those rare tickets, or you don't need none of the Rocket Warriors, then I guess go ahead and pick up your extra life crystal. Unfortunately, that's what I'll be picking up. Such a great day 2 prize, right? Now, day 3 is a no-brainer. Pick up the 20 gems. It's just like day 1. There's just nothing else to pick from. Choose the gems. Day 4, another tough one. Like I have currently 2 copies of Karibo, sorry. Nobody should have more than 2 copies of this card, so everybody should be trying to go ahead and get their 3rd copy, because why not? I mean, Karibo is still pretty decent for a free draw power if you do run it in like a tribute-heavy deck. You also can run it with Cosmo Brain, of course, for that draw power for the Blue Eyes deck, until hopefully they nerf that skill to make it to where it only works with Dark Magician. Like, I think they probably will. But for now, it still really works well. It can still work even in that deck if that is the change they make. And it can also protect the monster from the graveyard. So still a really decent card. It could work in an assortment of decks, honestly. So definitely go ahead and pick that up. It's definitely worth skipping the 50 gems to get that. I hate saying skip gems. Honestly, I do, but I mean, 50 gems is only 1 pack at the end of the day, and this is a guaranteed SR Relink Karibo that is still a pretty decent card in my opinion, and picking up 3 is good for consistency. Will you ever use 3? I don't know, but I mean, at the end of the day, I still feel that the card itself is still worth more than the 50 gems, so definitely pick that up. Now, day 5 is another one of those no-brainer days. Pick up the 30 gems, just there's no other choice, honestly. Day 6, pick up your 3rd copy of Dark Coffin. Now, this is interesting. Dark Coffin at 3 could be some kind of next level tilt. We'll have to see, but Dark Coffin at 3, there's some spicy plays you can do with that now. Now that there's going to be consistency with Dark Coffin, I am very curious. I may even try to make some fun decks with Dark Coffin at 3. Very interesting. Day 7, go with the rare jewels. Ignore the SRs and UR jewels. I know a lot of you are like, oh, but I could use those for the card trader. I need this. Guys, trust me, you're going to be able to get plenty of SR and UR tickets throughout the game as you play. You know, definitely go with the 500 rare jewels, because that'll allow you to get closer to making your first prismatic if you haven't yet, or more prismatics if you already have in the card trader, which are good for farming. And there's a lot of good farm cards in the card trader that you want to make prismatics. So, you know, it's a win-win. So definitely go with the 500 gems on day 7. Day 8 is another one of those, like, come on, bro. Why you got to keep putting these cards with the gems on those days? I hate that. But at the end of the day, you got to grab that Oversoul at 3, man. You got to grab that Oversoul. Some of you may not have 2 Oversouls yet because you haven't, uploaded leveled up Jaden enough yet, perhaps. But definitely grab that to get your, maximum of 3 copy your full playset of Oversoul. If you ever want to run Elemental Heroes, and Elemental Heroes maybe one day will be good. It depends if Konami will actually release good support. So you definitely want to be able to probably just go in and pick up that 3rd Oversoul, because it's still, again, it's in the same situation with Relink Karibo, where it's still, in my opinion, still better than just 50 gems, even though I really hate saying that. So for most of us, you're not going to get 200 gems from this event. You're only going to get 100. And that is very unfortunate. We used to get like 400 or so from this event, but, we've already talked about in previous videos. Day 9, and it's probably the worst day ever. All 3 options suck. So really just choose whatever, because I assure you, most of you probably have plenty of all 3 of those. So it's a really, can't really go wrong or right on day 9. Now, day 10, I'm still triggered by this 3 SR crap when all 3 of them are the same. Some people have it in their mind that all 3 of these SR groupings are different. Let me just prove that really quickly. As you can see, there's the first one, there's the second one, and there's the third one. They are all the same option. What I think day 10 should be is you should get 5 rare tickets, 2 SR tickets, or 1 UR ticket. I feel like that'd be a lot better, especially if you're trying to make these events for newer players, because if players are really needing some farm cards, which most of these cards are farmable anyway, pretty much every card you can get except for the ones that are on the 50 gem day and the Dark Coffin, you can get these cards basically just by farming randomly at the gate or going to the card trader, etc., etc. What I think would have been better is to maybe make the card pull from either roaming events, because roaming event RNG is terrible and a lot of people don't get their full playsets or even 2 copies of cards that they may want. So maybe making that change would be good. And I think definitely making the options 5 rare tickets, 2 SRs, or 1 UR would be a lot better, instead of just all the choices being an SR ticket, which makes 0 sense to me. But that's just a quick little rant. We're going to go ahead and get around that. So what cards should you pull from an SR? Well, we're pretty much going to be going based off if you're a new player, because if you're a veteran player like me, you don't need anything from this. Let's be honest here. But if you are a newer player, like you've only been playing for a few months, or maybe even more newer than that, and you're looking for some good cards, and you need to pick that 1 SR that could really help you out, there's definitely a selection to pick from. So if we go through here, we got some good cards that used to be good back in the day. Gravekeeper Oracle was really good. I really hope we get Gravekeeper support in the future, but until then, I wouldn't waste your gems or any kind of time or effort in building any kind of Gravekeeper deck. So we'll skip that. Same thing with Invader of Darkness. Used to be a very powerful card. It's definitely been just completely taken out for so long now. Fang Wong, still a really good card, and it can be used in certain farm decks, so that is definitely a good option to pick up, is your 1 Fang Wong. But again, it's another card in the card trader, which most of these will be, but I mean, it will save you from using resources for an SR, and as a new player, SR and UR cards can be a bit pricey when you first start the game. But after a while, you'll notice, like I do up top, you get too much gems. Or I'm sorry, you get too much gold. I'm sitting there with too many gems. Yeah, I got 1. So that is definitely an option there, Feng Wong. Thunder Dragon is also really, really good if you like to run the farm decks with a lot of draw power, especially if you want to run Elements Unite. Thunder Dragon is such a clutch card to run, but you are going to need 3 of these. So being able to get 1 of those for a free SR ticket may not be a bad option for some of you as well. If you do like to run a counter fairy deck, like we mentioned earlier, for whatever reason, Bountiful Artemis is an option, I guess. It's not really the best thing in the world, but it's there. If you guys are running the D-Hero deck or trying to build a D-Hero deck, you can't make a good D-Hero deck right now without Decider, so definitely you could pick up a copy of Decider as well. If you guys are big Gemini players, you want to run some Gemini, especially some of the new Gemini support that we get trickled in here and there, you can go ahead and pick up a Blazewing Butterfly. Like we talked about the Golden Flying Fish deck from earlier, with Oystermeister and Hammer Shark, you got a Hammer Shark right there as well. Amazon Swordswoman, let's be honest, probably one of the better cards in this entire list. Still a very powerful burn card indeed, so you can go ahead and pick that up as well. If you're trying to make a, Red Eyes or Blue Eyes deck, or even a Dark Magician, just a nice vanilla deck, you can go ahead and pick up Blue Dragon Summoner. It's also good for picking up normal vanilla warriors as well. Let's see what else we got here. If you're a big farmer like me and you want to run a quick farm deck for certain characters, you cannot go wrong with a Cerberus deck. So you can go ahead and pick up a Cerberus, run with Draw Sense Light. And what's cool with Draw Sense Light, depending on who you're dueling against, you only need one Cerberus. So it's not a bad pickup at all. Rose Lover, very, very good card. Yes, it is semi-limited, but it's still very powerful even at 2. You can run that with your Sylvans or any kind of other plant decks, even like Arrow Mage. So, you know, definitely got some options there with Rose Lover. Really, really cool card. If you're also looking for more farm support cards, you have cards like Anti-Magical Arrows. You have a Union Attack that you can run with Vassal. If you're really, really new, you can pick up an enemy controller. It's, again, another card that's semi-limited, but you can still run it as 2. So you have that. Very, very good card. It's probably one of the best spell cards that ever graced this game and may stay that way for a long, long time. It's been going on for 2 years now, and this card is still very powerful and still seeing a lot of play, even being semi-limited. Just a very good card. And if you guys are really, really wanting to make a cool like Red Eye Zombie deck or a Red Eyes deck, you can't go wrong with picking up a Red Eye Spirit as well. So that's some of my options. You also got your polymerization here too. Again, if you're running fusions or you know, trying to run some kind of farm decks that require a fusion, so you have that. So there's definitely a few options in here, especially if you're a new player. I know I talked as if all the players that are watching this video are going to be new players. But, I mean, let's be honest. If you're a veteran, you pretty much have all this stuff. So this is more or less built for new players, and hopefully I help some new players out in their decision-making on what to pick on what day. And if I did, let me know in the comment section below and by giving me a big thumbs up on the like. And also, subscribe if you're new, become an Impact player today, and join us in the Discord below. We are almost approaching 2,100, and we are getting very, very close to 10,000 subscribers on the channel. I hope you guys are all enjoying, as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.